Okay, in example one here, it says Stephanie earns $750 a month, and then she gives 30% to charity, and it's asking you how much money did she give to charity. So a good way to do this is to first just organize information in a quick picture. So the bar represents her total earnings, and it says that she earns $750 a month. So I'm going to bracket that off and say this is $750. That's just this first bit of information. Then it says she's giving 30% to charity. 30% is 3/10, so you could cut it into 10. I'm just gonna say 30% is like about here. That's 30%. That went to charity. Okay. And that's the thing we're asked to find. How much is this? So if we're gonna solve this with percent statements or ratio or rate statements, then the first thing I want to write is the thing that the problem told me. Now the thing that the problem told me is that her earnings is $750. That's the entire bar, that's everything. So that is 100%, and that's what you want to start with. In the problem, it told me that 100% of her earnings is $750. Now my ultimate goal is to figure out what she gave to charity, so my ultimate goal is to figure out what is 30% of that. So I'm trying to get down to 30%. But I can't go from 100 to 30 with a whole number, so I'll see if I can reduce the ratio to something smaller. Going from 130, some people always like to go to 1%. They'll always go to 1% by dividing by 100. You could go to 10% here because it's 30, so I could go to 10 instead. I will go to 10%. If I divide by 10, then I can get 10%. 10% of her earnings is dividing by 10, which is 750. Oh, I'm sorry, which is 75. That's what 10% of her earnings would be. And then 30% of her earnings is 3/10. So that's times 3. I'll triple this. And 75 times 3 is 225. So 30% is 225. If you had gone to 1%, then I'll just do this in red. Some people don't do the 10%. I'll erase that. They like to go to 1%. Doesn't matter. Now instead of dividing by 10, I'm dividing by 100. And so instead of 75, I'm going to get 7.5. And now instead of times 3, I'm doing times 30, and I end up getting the same thing. I get 225. So I'll finish off with a sentence. Stephanie gave $225 to charity.